My guest here today on CNA Q&A is former Australian Diamonds captain and current women's AFL celebrity magpie, Sharni Layton. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Kick it from 40 out on a 45-degree angle. It doesn't look pretty, but it's effective. Look at the celebration from Big Sharni.
So to start with, Sharni, tell us a little bit about what your life looks like now, but before Corona kicked in. So,
For like football days?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the reasons that, and I'm sure we'll chat about this after anyway, but one of the reasons that I ended up giving up netball, just because netball is now a full-time sport, and I did it for 15 years. So, you know, from year 12, year 11 and 12, when I first started playing with the Melbourne team, the right way through till 30 years of age, netball was all that I'd known. And I had the opportunity and experiences to travel, and do a lot of things like that, but it was always based around netball. I never had time to go and really spend much time with my family, and I really was lacking that passion, and that's why I decided to then move on and go to AFLW. So the best thing about AFLW is that being part-time is it allows me to work as well as train. So my lifestyle through that AFLW season that we just came off pre-COVID was training 3 nights a week. So, and very similar to probably what you do up at the camp at CNA, because it was all after hours because all of the girls work, and so we'd get to the club at 4 or 5 o'clock. We do an hour of prehab, so whether or not that's taping, physio, minimum half an hour of that hour needs to be all of that pre-game like exercises. And then from 6 o'clock, we have a team meeting, out on the field at 6:30, out on the field for 2 hours till 8:30, recovery, dinner at 9, and we get out of the club at about 9:30, 10. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights. And then work-wise, it was a bit hard. I was just doing some random stuff during the week. So talks, schools, I love all of that kind of stuff, obviously, because I can talk a lot. And a bit of media as well. So on the radio in the mornings with a local station. And then, that's what I was getting at too.
now that Corona's kicked in, tell us a bit about what's changed. What's your life look like now?
I was really fortunate to come across a few jobs. So I am doing NetFit with Sarah Wall, and she created with Netball Australia an online training program. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but we do online trainings from 9 till 3, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So 3 days a week, full training. And then those sessions are tiring. Like, I haven't done netball training in so long, I actually forgot how hard they are.
I've watched you in a few of those. I think you talk a lot during them as well.
And if you
not breathing enough.
Not breathing enough.
All right, I hope you all grabbed a drink. Me and Cez are absolutely sweating bullets in here. But I'm going to give you one more second break because we're throwing to Sharni's shout out. Yeah, boy.
What advice would you have for any players that we've got currently, say, in our junior rep programs that maybe aren't the best in their team or their age group just yet?
So, you're cheeky, Tara, you do know my background. So that's okay. I was never the best. Pivo knows that too. But yeah, I think you always want to be the best person for your team. And I'm so grateful I wasn't the best player when I was younger. I got picked up at 16 years old, and I didn't really make it until I got to Adelaide at the age of 22. So, you know, that's a good 6 years of not being the best player. And it taught me work ethic. It taught me determination. It taught me that sometimes it's not my fault if I'm not the right person for the position. Coaches are choosing people for a position. Sometimes it's a combination. Sometimes, you know, it's very rare that it's just because of an individual need that you'll be chosen. And if you're not the right person for the job, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. So you just need to say, okay, how can I fit into this team? And I just had to keep evolving as a player, because the player that I once was, the 16-year-old, wasn't the player that fitted into the major league teams. And so for me, I was like, okay, how do I play better with a goal defence, and how can I man up as a goalkeeper against a Romelda Aiken to show that I'm worthy of being in this competition? And so it's about not giving up. You're not going to get your way all the time. You're not always going to be on court or start on court. But no matter what happens, you always need to be ready to go, because those 2 minutes or seconds that you get on that court, you want to prove that you want to start that next game. And I think a really good, even moving on again, I finally made it in as a 22-year-old, and then I made the Australian team at 23, and then I had to sit on the bench again because Julie Coletto, Bianca Chatfield and Laura Geitz were there. So I then had to be the team player again. And at the 2014 Commonwealth Games, I didn't play every game, but I came on in the third quarter against England when we were down, and I have no doubt that I was the reason that, you know, I changed momentum by shutting down their wing attack, because I had the opportunity to sit off court and see what was going on. And sometimes when you're that player on court, you can't do that. And so I came on for a quarter and a half and I did my job and we won the game. And that's what teamwork is all about. So think about the team as a whole winning. And if you're a team player and you have determination, you do what the coach says, you push yourself really hard and you encourage your teammates, that is a player that every single coach will want in their team, no matter what, over skill any day of the week.
Get on! Get on! Yours, Jules! Hands! Stay on! Stay on! Stay up, stay up, stay up! Stay up! Good girl!
Hi Sharni, it's Isla from CNA 11 Sky. And my question for you is, what techniques did you learn from AFL that you would now bring back to netball?
What I would bring back from football is it's a different work ethic to netball. It's a never give up work ethic, because we run 8 to 10 kilometres in a game, and sometimes you don't want to run, but you don't have a choice. You have to get to that next contest. You have to go again and again and again. And it just uses a different energy system than what I ever had to use in netball. And I think having that base of endurance and aerobic fitness would have really helped me in my netball. So that the mental side of being able to push and push and push, and then that aerobic based fitness to be able to build my anaerobic sprints on top of is probably what I would have brought back. But to be honest, we bring more from netball over to footy because of our footwork and all the rest of it, and the rest of the stuff that you bring in footy you cannot bring in netball because it's all body on and pushing off and all the rest of it. So so it's really, really tricky otherwise. But if I was to come back, probably just the physicality, which is what I always had anyway.
Hi Sharni, my name's Isabel and I play for 12 White. Why did you start playing netball and how old were you? What would you tell your 12-year-old self? Go Pies!
Oh my gosh, Isabel, you are the cutest. So question number 1, I was 5 years old when I first started playing netball, and they were a bit more lenient on the net set go ages back then, and so I probably started playing in my first team at age 6, to be honest. And I started playing just because it was what my family did. My mum was down coaching, my sister was playing, and I think that's the best thing about netball is the community of it all, and it's families that get down there and do it together. And then I went from playing on the Saturday to then being 10 or 11 and getting into umpiring because I loved being down there all day anyway. And so that's how I got into it. And the last question was, if I could tell my 12-year-old something, as you're always growing. You never have to be stuck as one person. Remember what age you are. When you come up and play against older girls, don't beat yourself up if you don't have the best game. You're still learning and you'll continue to grow. And even when I retired, there are still things to my game that I could have got better. So never think that you're the best. Never think you've got it all, because you'll always learn. Always have a growth mindset in that manner. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Hi Sharni, my name is Eva Lehman and I play under 14s Div 1 CNA. Now, surely you remember me. Fast 5, 2018, we met. Practically besties.
We are practically besties, definitely. Oh my God, what a cool photo. That was actually a really fun weekend too. I hope you had fun. But yeah, we can be besties.
Hi Sharni, my name's Chloe and I'm in under 17s. So, towards the end of your school years, how did you balance your schoolwork, netball commitments, and if you had one, a part-time job? Do you have any strategies or tips you'd like to share with us?
Such good questions. Yes to all of the above. So I was really fortunate that I completed 2 Year 12 subjects in Year 11. So I only had to do 4 subjects in Year 12, which gave me an extra free to do my homework. You've got to weigh up where are you with your netball? Do you need more time to train, to practice? Is it worth splitting up your Year 12? Or are you happy to sacrifice a bit, be a bit more tired by doing both and then just punching out it in a year? And like, you have to make that own decision within yourself. So it's all about your time schedule. Like, you sit down on that Sunday and you plan out your whole week to the hour. So obviously priorities first is school. So school, when your free periods are. Okay, great. Then netball training. When's the netball training compulsory? Bang, 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 bang. So you lock those in. Then you go, okay, what homework am I going to have from school? Approximately this many hours per week. All right, I'm going to do it in this free period at this lunchtime. If I need to do it at recess, I'll do it at recess as well. And then, it's a pretty chock-a block day, but as long as you've got your food, you need to plan out your food as well to keep yourself fueled. As long as you're still eating during those breaks, you just need to keep on going. And it's not easy. It can be really tough, but you need good amounts of sleep. Don't stay up till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning scrolling on your phone. Let your body recover when it needs to recover. You probably won't have a social life, and that's okay because you'll get it later on in life, I promise. But I don't regret it at all. So that would be my tip to you. It's tough, but with time management, you can do anything, and that will be a great tool for you in life.
Hi, Sharni. I was just wondering, from a defender's perspective, how do you make sure you fight for every ball even though you're in the last quarter and you're feeling real dead? How are you able to push yourself through that barrier? Thanks.
So for that one, you just need to train harder than you play. And if you push yourself harder at every training session, I promise you games will get easier. If you're training properly, games you'll be tired, but you can still continue to push through. So if you feel like you need to get your fitness a bit more up, and mentally, if you're thinking about too much, then you'll be mentally fatigued. Yeah, and you'll think it's physical fatigue, but it's not. It's just because you're like, oh my God, I've got 10 minutes to go. Break it down. I like looking at the clock because I'm like, okay, I need this amount of time to do this. But to start off with, think, okay, I need to get this next centre pass. Where do I go? And you've got the whole game as a defender to read where the ball's going. Where's the wing attack been catching it? Where's the centre been catching it? So I used to be a 4th quarter player. I'd be pretty quiet for the first 3 quarters and then I'd come out and take 6 intercepts in the 4th. And the reason being was because I was shutting down my player in the first 3. So I was doing enough that I needed to do. But then in the 4th quarter, I knew where every single ball was going because I'd been watching it the whole game. So I could just come out and be like, yep, I know the wing attack's going to that pocket. Yep, I know the centre's going to the top of the circle. But you're then, okay, centre's got the ball. I need to defend my attacker. It goes back to the centre pass. You go again. It goes back to the centre pass. You go again. So play each play as it is. Don't think about too much in advance, because if you do that, you'll be mentally tired. But I promise you, your body can do much more than you'll ever imagine.
Hi, I'm Tab. I'm TJ. And we're from CNA's Division 1 team. We would like to know, how have you found the best way to keep motivated in a time where you can't train with your teammates?
Thanks for answering our questions.
Such a good question, and it's so hard. But it just is. And do you know what? I'm not very motivated, but I do it anyway. And that's the key.
Well, we will leave it there for today because I know you've got some other commitments to get to. But I guess on behalf of CNA, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your experience and your knowledge and answering our questions, and fantastic work from everyone that put questions through. So well done, and shout out to you guys as well. And yeah, we look forward to watching you on NetFit and maybe getting some nutritional advice in the future as you continue down that pathway, and no doubt listening to your booming voice throughout some commentary when we get back to some Corp Super Netball later this year, hopefully as well.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, thanks so much for organising, Taz, and congratulations to CNA for just putting all the stuff together for everyone, staying together as a community and training during this stuff, like training through this time can be really tough. So good work, stay motivated, work together, and yeah, have a good time.
Awesome. See you later.
Bye.